For more on our top story on the application to interdict the state capture report, we cross live to our reporter Aldrin St-Pierre. Aldrin, thank you very much for joining us as always. So what can you tell us? What's the latest about this particular situation?
Well, now we have this the court order from the North Gauteng High Court indicating that the matter will be heard on the 1st of November. All parties have agreed that that's the date that the matter will be heard. Remember that earlier on, the judge asked for a short adjournment to speak to the Deputy Judge President just to confirm whether the 1st of November will be available, and certainly that date has now been available. So that's the date that arguments will be heard with regards to interdicting, and I guess this will be Mkhwebane now. On the 1st of November, it will be Mkhwebane who will be the public protector. And I guess when those arguments resume, what will be critical is the authenticity of the report or the validity of the report, considering that President Jacob Zuma is arguing that he wasn't given enough time to respond to some of the questions that Thuli Madonsela has sent to him. Remember that he's also spoken about the Public Protectors Act, saying that he wants a list of all the witnesses that she interviewed, as well as the evidence that has been given to her, and he will be questioning some of those witnesses. Madonsela has indicated previously that on the 1st of October she handed all the evidence over to President Jacob Zuma. On the other hand, you have Rooyen, who's somewhat making the same arguments as well, saying that he wasn't given enough time to respond to the adverse findings that Public Protector Thuli Madonsela could finally have made in the report. But as we heard during the proceedings, the Council of the Public Protector indicating that at this point, with the final report that Thuli Madonsela has finalized and signed off, there are no adverse findings against Rooyen. But when we had the interview with the Public Protector, she indicated that the investigation into state capture will be divided into two phases. So the report that was going to be released today is phase 1, and then phase 2 would have been the report, would have been the investigation that Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane would have to continue with.
So do we know whether the new advocate is going to be pursuing the second part? Because we know that she's been on record to have said that state capture was not much of an issue for her.
Well, you have the second part that still needs to continue, and that's a decision taken by the Office of the Public Protector, not Thuli Madonsela per se herself, but that's a decision by the Office of the Public Protector. So we'll have to wait and see when she comes into office, the discussion that you will have with the team, whether this part 2 of that investigation is something with investigating further. But then you have part 1, which has now been finalized by Advocate Thuli Madonsela, and depending on what the outcomes of the court hearing is on the 1st of November, whether the judge says that, listen, you didn't give enough time to President Jacob Zuma, as well as Rooyen, who are implicated in this matter, based on that, you might need to review the report and start the investigation all over again. That's something that we'll have to wait and see.
And now you are there at the Public Protector's press conference that's about to happen. What are you expecting to come out of that this afternoon?
Well, I actually saw a Daily Maverick report earlier this morning indicating that there are about 20 reports that the Public Protector will be giving details on. These are some of the reports that she has been finalizing, but there's no doubt that the state capture report will be something that most media houses and the reporters here will be asking on, and it will speak to the procedures that Thuli Madonsela has followed with regards to this investigation, and this push as well to make sure that the report is released today. Remember that there was that push that you wanted the report to be released today, and that's the reason why we had today's court action. But she had indicated previously that because of the Executive Members Ethics Act, which indicates that 30 days after complaints have been received against a member of the executive, that complaint needs to be investigated within 30 days. She indicated that they're a couple of weeks behind schedule, and that's because Treasury didn't give the money in time. The Office of the Public Protector didn't have enough money to investigate those allegations, and the other issue was that the team that is working on the state capture investigation is not big enough.
And then lastly, Aldrin, do we know what Thuli Madonsela is going to be doing once she finishes being Public Protector tomorrow?
Well, she said she's taken a sabbatical so next year she won't be doing anything, but she did indicate that she's received a couple of international offers. One of them is from Oxford University. She still deciding on whether to take that on, but she did indicate, of course, that she will also be completing the book that she's writing with a very close friend of hers with regards to her time here in the Office of the Public Protector. It will also give more details around the investigation of Nkandla, as well as some of the political pressure that some have tried to put her under when investigating some of these sensitive cases that involve politicians.
All right, Aldrin, thank you very much. We're going to leave it there. That was Aldrin Simpier.